Bam! Hello everyone and welcome to another... Let's try again. Bam! Hello everyone and welcome to a VA All The Way tour. Can you tell it's been a minute since I did one of these? Welcome! Guys, one and all, there's the camera. I found the camera. Guys, it's been so long since I did this. Anyway, should I just scrap this? Should I just scrap this? No, we're not gonna scrap it. We're gonna, this is the real, you guys. We're not always perfect. Anyway, this is Denny in Virginia at Western Branch Park in Chesapeake, Virginia, doing my first VA All The Way tour in a very long time. So I hope you guys enjoy because, yeah. Anyway, let's get to the tour. We are at Western Branch Park in Chesapeake, Virginia. Hopefully I'm not too loud and screaming to you guys. But I decided to do a VA All The Way tour because I was going to do a full deep dive, like one shot of the park, but that's a lot of walking and I don't think my battery life will last that long. So I'm just going to take about 15 to 20 cuts of it. So we're starting off at the tennis courts. Hopefully my face didn't do that weird pause thing that my phone does whenever I switch camera views, but it's okay. You guys can just take a screenshot of my awkward faces. Here we go. Let's go in. Okay. First of all, you got to figure out how to get in. It's a pull, not a push. So I wanted to show you guys the tennis courts / it might be paddleball as well, but I'm not sure. No, pickleball, that's it. Pickleball as well. I don't know the difference, but we do have these tennis courts here at Western Branch Park in Chesapeake, Virginia. I wanted to show you guys this first because it's open and nobody is here, and that is not always a thing. So I was like, let us get a full view of the tennis courts before somebody comes. So here it is, you know. It's the tennis courts. So we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now over there, it looks like this side has the pickleball lines, but I don't understand pickleball, so I don't fully get that. But it's looking like this is the pickleball half if you do want to play pickleball, because there's like black lines over there. Let me see if I can get a closer look. Push, not pull. We're gonna figure this out one day, guys. See, pull. Okay, I didn't read. Pull. There we go. So let's get a little bit of a closer look. So for those of you who like sportsball, I do not. I don't participate in sportsball. I don't like watching sportsball. I don't know anything about sportsball. But for those of you who do, can you tell me if this is in fact a pickleball court? Because there are these extra lines here. So I think they both sides are good for tennis, but I think this is the only side that's good for pickleball. So y'all let me know in the comments because I have no idea. Anyway, let's continue the tour doing things that I actually enjoy, which is not sportsball, to be honest. Y'all, this is going to be a very, very long tour, I'm thinking, because I think ordinarily it takes me about an hour and a half to walk this whole thing. This looks like it could be part of the path, but it also looks like it could be not. So let's just go back and not stray. Put the camera back on me and talk to y'all for a little bit. Okay, so if y'all cannot tell, it has been a minute since I did one of these VA All The Way tours, and I am rough right now, guys. I am rough. So forgive me. I still got to get used to like being in front of the camera and being more of a tour guide thing, which is ironic because one of my business ideas was I could be a tour guide. Not right now. So let's start with these VA All The Way tours and see if we can get ourselves together on camera before we start inviting real life people in to have a real life experience, and they're just like traumatized because I'm like this, you know, and frazzle dazzled. But anyway, like I said, this is Western Branch Park in Chesapeake, Virginia. The peak of excellence. Is going to be a very long VA All The Way tour. This is probably going to be close to an hour, maybe over an hour. I don't know, editing me can tell me whether or not that is true. Now, editing me is not going to be editing this as well as my devloggy episodes, because I like to put captions, little like quirky remarks, but that requires me to rewatch the whole thing. Because this is more focused on the tour and less of what I'm saying, I'm not going to do that. So basically what I mean by editing is I'm just going to smash it all together. I'm not going to put any comments. So don't look forward to any like quippy remarks on my videos, which I do enjoy doing for the devloggies, but those are a lot shorter, so I have the attention span to be able to do that. Whereas this feels like it's gonna be very, very long. And as you can tell, I'm already huffing and puffing because I'm out of shape. I definitely have to come back to like my roots as Denny and Virginia because yeah, I used to walk at the parks all the time. I used to take walks. I used to go to like every single park in the Peak of Excellence. And I stopped doing that. I was like, why did I stop doing that? I don't know, I can't tell you. Let me show y'all. So that's where I came from. Those are the tennis courts over there. And so there's parking right in front of the tennis courts. There's a couple of different sections for Western Branch Park. When you come in first, I might not even be able to show you that section because that is the children's park, and right across the street there's a dog park. So that's the very first section of Western Branch Park that you come into. And then after that you keep going, and then there's a parking lot for those two areas right in front of the children's park. You keep going and you hit the tennis courts to the right. There's a parking lot there. Now, strangely, if you keep going, there's a smaller kids' children park, and there is no parking there. So that's a little weird that the smallest kids don't have accessible parking, but that's just how the park was made, I guess. So they separated the big kids' park from the little kids' park for some reason. And there's no parking at the little kids' park, but just know that there are two different parks here at Chesapeake Park, or playgrounds for the kids. So this is saying that this is a walking trail. So let us actually begin the trail part. I pray the spider webs are not out today. I pray enough people have walked the trail so that I don't have to deal with them, because they have been attacking me in my own home. So hopefully here I'll be safe from spider webs. We shall see. I'm gonna tell y'all from the jump, you already know I'm out of shape. So you're gonna hear me huffing and puffing. I'm going to try to remember to keep the camera as far away from my heavy breathing as possible. But please have some grace and understand that at some point in time, you could have or may be out of shape. So please have grace and excuse my heavy breathing. This is me working on myself. Please have some grace. I'm out of shape. We are working on it by walking through it. Anyway, Western Branch Park. Definitely a like standard park in Chesapeake, the Peak of Excellence. Not my favorite park in Chesapeake, but it is a very convenient park for me because I'm by the Chesapeake Square Mall area. So Western Branch is kind of like my home base. But let me show you guys what it'd be looking like on the trail itself. Kind of creepy, not gonna lie. Spiderwebs got me. They got me already. Y'all, not enough people are walking this trail. I knew I should have brought like a stick or something to like wave in front of me so that I can get the spider webs down. Oh, this is the area. I wonder if this is usually flooded over or if it's usually dry. It's probably usually flooded. So I don't know what this means. That's a pretty little patch of greenery there. Anyway, I digress. Let's continue. Anyway, walking tip. If you're unaccustomed to getting outside like I am, remember to bring something to like kind of whack in front of you on occasion, because there be spider webs all over the trail and you don't like walking, all of a sudden you get a mouthful. It's not cool, it's not fun. Danger, glass, at least it's to the side of the trail, but still be alert for dangerous stuff like that. A lot of cool pictures you can take along the way of like moss and natural scenery. But be aware of glass along the trail, apparently. Now, this might be scary to some, especially to me, who weighs over 200 pounds. So we're going to see how I feel. Might just walk to the side. But if something happens, at least I caught it on camera. This is exactly why this is not like the best, like most beginner-friendly trail or best trail in general in the Peak of Excellence, because of stuff like that. So you'll see like it's necessary, as you can see, because usually there's like water and stuff that can run over there, especially when it rains. So it's necessary, but it's definitely not the safest and it's not the best construction to get over there, but it's what we have at the moment. So prayerfully it'll get better in the future. But as for right now, definitely one of the rougher trails that you will traverse in the Peak of Excellence. Like, this is definitely not a, if you're just getting into walking trails, it's not the best one to start on, in my opinion. So hopefully nobody is over here. I'll give you all a little peek of the smaller children's playground. I don't think anyone is over here. Okay, nobody is over here. So I'll give you all a little peek. So this is the smaller kids playground. So if you have like really tiny kids, like toddlers and stuff, this is a better playground for you to go to. As you can see, it's clearly designed for the smaller kids. But there's only one little shelter area, not a park to have a party in. 100% do not recommend to have a party in this park, just because not a sheltery park. There's like one other shelter, like a couple shelters that size and one other major shelter, but you'll see what I mean later on. But as you can see, I'm exhausted already. This is the smaller kids park. Really nice for the little babies, for the little toddlers. But you can also see there is no parking. So you kind of got to park at the side if you want to immediately have access to it, or you have to park all the way over there and walk in. So either way, it's not, I don't know, it's just not convenient, I guess, to be over here, but it's still good that there is a little kids park. And then lastly, before I cut and go to another segment of Western Branch Park, I want to show you guys one of the best parts, and that is the little free library that they have right here in front of the children's area. As you can see, they pretty much keep it fairly children appropriate, but you can put whatever books you want in here that is like obviously not gross or really mean or anything like that. But it's mainly going to be, because it's in front of the little kids park, it's mainly going to be a bunch of like smaller kids stuff, like children's books. So if you're in need of children's books and you don't have the means to pay for it, go to your local library and or come to Western Branch Park at the little free library in front of the little playground for the little kids. Plenty of selections for you and your child, and you can take them, you can bring them back, you can give some, you can take some. It's a little free library, so it's a public system. It's really, really nice to just like, I don't know, just share with the community stuff that you no longer need, or find things that you might want. So yeah, that is my last stop here until I pause and go to another section. Wow, I am really like out of practice, y'all. I'm gonna cut, and then I'll come back up when I am ready to show you guys another section. Okay, so I'm actually still right by the little kids park, the little kids playground, but like, doesn't this look like some Jurassic Park looking thing? Make sure these spider webs don't get me, but like, look at this, man. It's like we went all the way back in time to some Jurassic Park stuff. Really good for nature photography here if you're into that, and if you're not, I would highly recommend you start getting into nature photography, because for me it is very calming. It is a soothing hobby that I have now, but it does take up a lot of space on my phone, and I didn't realize it would be taking up that much space or that much time. Oh, okay, so according to this, the walking trail continues over there, but I don't want to go over there, so I'm gonna go around this way. But this might spit me back out to the main part. Oh no, we're good. You can actually go the other way. You can continue being in the bushes, or if you want to escape, you can get spat out right there. Now, FYI, Chesapeake is a very dog-friendly city, and so I think at pretty much every park it is dog accessible as long as they are on a leash. Are they always on a leash? No. Not according to my experience, they are not. But they should be on a leash. So if you have pets, if you have dogs rather, very dog-friendly city. You can go to almost any of the parks and you can have your dog on a leash and go for a walk. And they usually also have dog parks as well. So for some reason, Chesapeake is a really good like dog-friendly city. But if you don't like animals, if you don't like dogs rather, this might not be the best park to come to, because there are a lot of people that walk their dogs here, and as you can see, it's a very narrow trail. So if you're passing people, it's not like you're gonna have a lot of space between you and them on the trail. So if you're not comfortable with dogs, might not be the best park to come to, because you could potentially have a lot of close encounters, since like as you can see, it's a very narrow, I don't know if it translates well on camera, but it is very narrow here. Like from here to here, that is the whole length of the trail. It's like a yard, if that. A lot of people walk their dogs here, especially in the morning. So thus far, I haven't had any encounters, but I have heard them barking. So I don't know where they are, but I've heard them barking. So where should we go? This is another problem with the trail, is that there are all these random like outlets. And so you kind of got to choose your own adventure. I don't think I'm supposed to go that way. I think I'm supposed to go this way. Oh, okay. So yeah, I don't go this way because that way ends. As you can see, this way just ends. Oh my gosh, I could go that way too. Oh no, that might be going backwards. Bro, where am I? This is one of the problems with Western Branch Park, is that it's not like the clearest marked off trail. You don't know exactly where to go. Sometimes you're guessing, and sometimes you pick wrong. But the great news is, because it's not gigantic, you'll never get like lost. You'll always be able to find your way out because it spits out back to the main road a lot. Ugh. Oh my gosh, guys. Oh, a little bog over there. So I am getting back to being accustomed to taking this walk. This was definitely an intense like first step. Probably should have started at a smaller park to get back to my walking game, because I have experienced so many cobwebs in my face thus far. I don't know if you've heard, a lot of times I do that because there are cobwebs in my face. I have also experienced sitting down and I thought ants were crawling up my legs. And I don't think they were, but it still felt like it. And I looked down on the ground and there were ants, so maybe they were. So in case you haven't noticed, it is actually, I'm filming this in July, at the end of July, which is very hot here in VA. So today, pretty hot, pretty humid. But as you can see, I am in a sweater, a beanie, long pants that are actually tucked into my socks. The reason being because I knew I'd be going for this walk, and I don't like bugs, I don't like ticks, I don't like anything like that. And so the only way that I can think of to protect myself is to be fully covered. And so that's exactly what I did. Long sleeves, beanie, pants tucked into my socks to not risk anything, because I'm a wuss. I don't like bugs, I don't like spider webs, and I never know like what's gonna be over here. So that is how I do it. You can do whatever you want to do, but I am a wuss when it comes to being out here. Well, let me show you this tree. So this is definitely a save point. So I need to start taking note of notable save points at the park, so you guys know where you will respawn if you collapse. This is a definite save point, so whenever you pass the stream, make sure you just give a little doop. So now I know if anything happens, I'm gonna respawn right there. So that's good to know. So I'm gonna shut down again. And I'm going to start recording again on another segment of the trail. So this is not going to be one long shot. It's going to be like a couple of cuts of different parts of the trail. But definitely, this is an iconic Western Branch only tree trunk you can only see at Western Branch Park in Chesapeake, Virginia. So if you don't see it here, you won't see it anywhere. Okay, so once again, I am like 2 seconds away from where I last cut off, but I wanted you guys to see how easy it is for you to be spat back out at the main section of the park, so you don't have to worry about getting lost here at Western Branch Park, because there's so many like different random outlets that'll just spit you out. It'll just spit you out right back at the main part. So right here, I'm at a crossroads where there are two parts where you can just end up right back at the main part where the volleyball stuff is, where you can see where the parking lot is. You can see society. So right here, either I can cross a little bridge over there and that'll spit me out by the gates right next to the volleyball courts, not volleyball. Oh my gosh, softball. I might be dehydrated. Anyway, I can go over there and that'll spit me back out by the softball courts, or I can walk right over here and it spits me out right over here in this wide open field area. A lot of times you'll find the kids playing soccer right here. But as you can see, like, you're not getting lost here. It's very easy, very wide open, and you can just, the parking lot is right there. The children's playgrounds is over there, and the tennis courts is over there. The rest of the softball fields are over there. So this is a very, like, you don't have to worry about being lost. Now, you can be, like, a little confused, but never panic about like, I don't know where I'm going, because just keep walking and you will inevitably be spat out somewhere. Like, I think you can get spat out over there on the trail somewhere as well. So never panic about being lost here, because it's not that type of park. However, you might walk in circles a little bit if you are like directionally challenged like I am. So let me actually walk on the outside a little bit to show you guys. Plenty of parking here at Western Branch Park. So I've never had to worry about not having a parking spot here at Western Branch Park because plenty of parking. There's a full parking lot everywhere except for that small kids playground. So I'm never worried about that. As you can see, there are several softball fields. So I'll film a little bit more of that as we get over that to that side. A lot of sports ball, community stuff happening for the kids specifically. Not so much stuff happening for the adults, to be honest. I really wish they would utilize the space for grown folk as well, like myself, so that we have some place that's safe to enjoy sports ball if we like that type of thing. But who knows, maybe this is the beginning of something beautiful for the adults as well. But a lot of sports ball stuff happening for the kiddos over here in this wide open area right here. And if you're not someone who enjoys being in the thick of the whoa, that's a big old bee, it's a big old bee, just back away, that was a big old bug. That was a big old dude. Hope it stays over there. But if you don't like stuff like that, if you don't like being in the thick of the whatever that is, the trees and stuff with spider webs and all that type of stuff, then what you can do is you can come over here and, oh my gosh, it's still over here. Oh my gosh, I think I picked the wrong spot. I might have to leave. There's bugs everywhere. But you can walk along this fence right here. See, it's still part of the walking trail. So you can walk behind the softball courts, which is not as like filled with trees and stuff like that. But it's still outside, but it's like you can still like, you don't feel like you can get lost, right? You just feel like you're just walking around the softball court. No, softball field. I told y'all I don't do sports ball. I told y'all. So that's the little bridge you can cross. I don't know if I would trust it with my weight, but it's something that you can do. Let's get back to the trail. Boom. I realize now my commentary is not great. It's not riveting. My voice is not super ecstatic. But I think part of the problem is my current physical status. I would like to take this opportunity to encourage you guys to start walking. If you don't walk already, just walk more than you've ever walked before. Just try to walk a little bit more every day until you reach like a normal amount of walking. I might not do this, might do this. This is one of the problems with this park and why I would understand why it's not your favorite park. I'm going to show you right now. Definitely not the safest, you know. I'm going to cross the one on the right. Prayerfully, that looks a little more sturdy, but definitely not the safest situation to be in if you are traversing a trail. Like I said, I'm going to walk on this one. Prayerfully, it is stable enough. I don't know if this is like done by the city or some nice volunteers who are like, we gotta help these people across this area. But either way, it's still not like the safest area. So I wouldn't necessarily bring your kids for a walk on the trail itself, but I would probably stay to walking around the softball fields if you have small children. But yeah, I'm going to shut down again because I actually want to take a picture of this for my compilation because y'all know I'll be taking this content. You know, I'm trying to take this seriously, trying to make this go somewhere, serve the people better. So y'all seem to like pictures. So I'm going to start taking some pictures of this area right here. So I'll see y'all when I see y'all in the next clip. Okay, so here's the deal. For those of you who are annoyed by my voice and my heavy breathing, I apologize. So we're going to go into the next segment as like a silent POV. So hopefully you guys enjoy that and you enjoy the natural ASMR of Western Branch Park in Chesapeake, Virginia, the peak of excellence. Here we go. Now. Okay, so we are about to go into probably the creepiest section of the park. Is that it is literally built with a cemetery right here at the back of a softball field. So, and you can just freely go inside, which I will not be doing personally, but you can. So definitely, in my opinion, the creepiest part of this park. But this is not the only park that has had a cemetery in it, in I think Chesapeake and Portsmouth. So apparently they just be putting cemeteries and parks together now, or next to each other at least. Definitely, I have never set foot inside there, but definitely, if you guys are into that type of thing, it's available. It is available. Okay, so I'm hearing like weird noises. Another creepy part of Western Branch Park. Another thing to take note of why this is not my favorite park or like bottom tier trail is because of all these roots right here. So as I'm walking, high tripping hazard like everywhere. So in those movies where you see the girl running away from the slowly walking killer or suspense person or criminal and they trip and fall on nothing, that's not the case here. You're just gonna trip and fall on all the roots on the trail. So do not get into a chase, a slow speed chase on Western Branch Park's trail, because you will trip and you will fall and they will catch you literally walking. Another tip is to definitely avoid this trail if it just rained a lot. As it floods, it gets very muddy. So it's not very safe when it rains a lot over here. So probably avoid this one and go to something that's paved instead. So let me know how I'm doing on this VA all the way tour. Let me know if you guys want to see more of this type of stuff. Let me know if you want me to talk more, if you want the camera more on me, if you want the camera more on the space itself. Let me know if I have no idea where the camera is, because I notice now I don't pay attention, so it'd be like this and I just be talking like it's not like that, but it is. So just give me some tips and tricks on how to improve and how to better serve the community, because yeah, you know, I can only get better if you guys tell me what I'm doing wrong. So I'll check my ego at the door and you guys can just flame roast me in the comments. I need it anyway. As you can see, I got spat out again. I told y'all from the trail, like, you don't really have to worry about getting lost just because there's so many places where it just spits you out. Like, I'm serious. Spits you out. So I just got spat out at field number 325. And I suppose I can go back on the trail. Or if I wanted to, actually I'm going to stay over here so I can show you guys the little pavilion, the shelter space. That is the only like real, if you're going to have any type of get together here that's very, very small, this is the only viable spot to do it, unless you bring your own tents and bring your own chairs, which you can't even set up tents anyway, so never mind. But this is literally the only like real shelter that they have here. That's why you don't see people having parties here. We're coming up. Now, this area is actually pretty cool. It's a pretty cool like clearing, so we'll take a little detour. Like, isn't this nice? It's nice. It's like a little private oasis, man. You can have like a little secret picnic over here, and then everyone else who's just having a normal day can interrupt your little picnic. And then you can invite them to your picnic. Wouldn't that be so cute? But I always thought this was just like a cool little like secret cove at Western Branch Park, which is not secret because it's on the trail, but it's just kind of like its own little space, you know? kind of just separated from the rest of the park, and it's just like a little tiny clearing. Really good for a gathering, I think. Like meet up with some friends, have a little picnic, get your cottagecore on. It'd be really cute. Really nice photo shoots happening. Or this is exactly where you're gonna face a boss if you're in a video game. Oop. If you heard that little whoop, it's because I ran into more spider webs. But yeah, here we are at the only like real shelter that this park has. Like, I'm so serious, guys. You've seen the tour thus far. This is the only actual, like, this is an actual shelter that has a couple of grills and literally 4 tables. That is all. So I've never seen anyone have a function here, but I imagine it gets used during the sports ball season when the kids are playing. That's probably when it gets used the most, but I've never seen anyone have a function here. So that's a thing. It's usually typically empty. Admittedly, the bugs be bugging over here, so I have tried to eat over here in peace, but it's like they be flying all over the place, so they don't want peace. They want problems always over here. And sometimes, not today I don't think, sometimes you can find a little wasp nest on occasion. And I have walked into yet another spider web while I was under there. Yay me. So here's an example of the grill. It clearly has been used, but probably not for some time. You definitely got to clean it, and however you guys do park grills is what you got to do with it. I've never grilled at a park before. We always brought our own grill if we were grilling, so I don't know how to use these things, but there's 2 of them, so it'd be nice to have like a small function. You know, grill chicken over here, grill your burgers and patties, your burgers and hot dogs over there. That'd be cute, but it's gonna have to be a very small function unless you bring your own tables and chairs. But if you do, I could see this video being a pretty good area to have like a little family get together or a friends get together. Oh my goodness. This would be fantastic for a friends get together. As long as there are no children's softball games or baseball games going on. This would be perfect as a little like isolated, like, we're getting together, we're having some burgers, we're having some grilled chicken, we're bringing some cookout food and having a potluck, and we're all gonna just party hardy right here. So it'd be really nice. So let me know if you guys would consider having a meetup here, maybe a potluck type situation, because I'm not myself comfortable using the grills quite yet, but maybe one day. But I can see a Denny and Virginia potluck happening right here. Everyone brings their own dish and we just meet up here, cover the tables, have some music playing. Right now, nobody would mind. It would just be really nice. So let me know. What are your thoughts? Should we do a Denny and Virginia meetup with a potluck right here at Western Branch Park? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, y'all, so this is the clearing right next to that shelter. You can see the little birdhouse over there. But the thing is, this used to be like the most, like one of the most like mystical, enchanted like archways, natural archways over here. But I think the tree fell that was connected to this one. It was like 2 trunks that came together like this that have a bunch of vines around it. It was really pretty, really beautiful for photo shoots. But unfortunately, I think the adjacent trunk has fallen down, and so now we lost our little archway photo op. But c'est la vie, I guess. Oh well. This one is still pretty, but it was just cool because it was an arch that went all the way over here, but it is gone now. It is gone, so we shall move on. So one good thing about Western Branch Park is that it is literally right next to the Western Branch Community Center. So if you have a community center membership and you happen to come to the park for your walk because you prefer walking out in nature and not like on a treadmill, if you bring a change of clothes and obviously a towel and stuff to like wash off with, you can take a shower if you have a community membership at the community center, which I did not bring a change of clothes today, so I can't do. But I'm probably going to head over there to get a little bit of a cool down after this walk, because it has been a pretty intense walk thus far. So that's just a little tip for you guys. It's only $40. I think they raised the price from $35 to $40 just this year in July. This month, yeah, the first of this month. And just wanted to give you guys a little tip of better utilizing your community resources, because if you're like me and you were paying for a insert gym membership here for months and months and months, if not years, and you never went, then it's like, this is a better investment if you don't need like super early morning gym or super late in the evening gym. If you just need gym, right, and you have a flexible schedule, get a community center membership, because for $40, if you're a citizen in Chesapeake, more if you're not, but if you're a resident for Chesapeake, for $40 you get access to all the community centers. They're typically open, I think, like 9 a.m. depending on the day of the week and the time of the year, to like, I think they close at 9 p.m. some nights, and they're closed on Sundays depending on the community center. But like $40 for the year. There's no extra fee, there's no extra tax stuff. It's just $40, like, even for the whole year. And so even if you only go like 4 times, that was like $10 per visit to use the gym, which is pretty darn good, versus I spent $15 a month and I never used it, and I kept that membership for years because I was like, I'm gonna use it, and then you don't use it. So don't be like me. Just get a community center membership if you're not ready to fully commit to a gym yet, but you want to start dabbling in gym work. This is a pretty cool clearing. It's kind of giving fall right now, so I feel like we're gonna have an early fall this year. It's been raining a lot this summer, which I'm grateful for because it helps our garden. Our garden has never looked so good because we don't always do the best job of maintaining it and watering it. But with all the rain we've been getting this summer in 2025, it's been flourishing. But I just feel like we're getting an early fall this year, and I feel like it's going to be a very long fall, which is beautiful because fall in Virginia is like the best. I don't know about fall wherever you might live, but autumn in Virginia, top tier. Everything gorgeous, temperatures beautiful, perfect, pristine, crisp. Love it, love it, love it. So if you want somewhere to vacation during the fall, come here to VA. Absolutely gorgeous. See, this is one of those confusing areas where it's like, can I go this way? Should I go this way? Should I go this way? This way? We're going this way. One day, I pray that I have the energy and the brain power enough and the friendship enough, the network, to be able to create like a LARPing type situation here. I've never LARPed, but a live action role play type situation in which like we have players stationed throughout the park, and they activate certain quests or like they have certain dialogue that they have to say. We do a tour with people. That would be so awesome. Like just an impromptu LARP sesh. Let me know. Would you guys be interested in that type of thing? Like I said, I've never actually LARPed before, but I imagine that's like, because like I want quests to be unlocked throughout the entire thing. Oh man, I think I went into a wrong dead end. This might not be part of the path. Oh, this is what it's like to choose the narrow path. Oh, my fellow brothers and sisters in Christ, you understand what I'm talking about. This is what it's like to choose the narrow path. I don't think this is part of the trail. I think I have strayed, which is one of the problems with Western Branch Park. I think I did stray. So let us go back and let me get myself together, and I will see you when I see you. Okay, so I'm running out of space on my phone. I have less than an hour to record, and I am only halfway done. So we're only going to show a couple more clips, and then we're going to wrap it up for the day. I want to show you guys that I am now on the opposite side of Western Branch Park. So let me turn the camera around. We started off over there. Actually, we started off over there. And so I took you guys, there's the shelter right there that we were at. Walked you guys all the way around over here. I went blank over here. And now we're walking. I'm out of shape. Now we're walking on the opposite side of the trail. So I just want to show you guys a little bit of what that side looks like before my battery and space runs out on my phone. Cool part about this side is that there's more bridges. These little bridges right here. I think there's like 2 or 3. More noises as well. I love these little bridges and these little spaces right here. Because it's like, I don't know, it's just super aesthetic, you know? I don't really know like how to explain the different vibes of the different sides, but I do feel like there's a different vibe. Most times I actually walk on this side, to be honest. It seems more like, how do I explain it? It feels like I should be filming something for a movie on this side, more so than the other side. Does that make sense? I don't know if that actually makes sense, but it makes sense to me. So usually when I come for my walks over here, I actually start off on this side, and I actually don't often walk on the other side. Which is why I have never shown you guys a full walkthrough of this park before, because I so rarely go on both sides on the same day. I said always watch out for the roots on the ground, because they will trip you up. So as you can see, the trail is pretty straightforward on this side. Maybe that's also why I like this side better, because there's less like mystery, like, oh, what's part of the trail, what's not. It's a smaller side in my opinion, so it's more obvious like what's part of the trail and what is not. I think I usually come in from this side right here. All right, so I'm gonna shut down, and we're only gonna film couple more spots because I am like running out of space so fast on my phone for some reason, and then we're gonna be done with this tour. So I hope you guys are enjoying, and I'll see you guys in the next shot. Now, okay, so you know how I said you don't have to worry about getting lost because the trail always like spits you back out to the main trail? Well, it turns out on the opposite side that is not the case. So I was trying to get spat out so I can show you guys the restrooms and then later on the playground. But now I'm gonna have to backtrack all the way back to the restrooms, because apparently on this side of the trail, there is no like easy exit back to the parking lot. Like you can fight your way over there. I see an opening that I can maybe fight my way through, but it's not part of the trail. So I'm gonna have to backtrack all the way over there. So I take back what I said about it being easy to be spat out all throughout the trails, because it is actually not that easy on this side of the trail in particular. Like I am still trying to find my way out. Believe it or not, this right here, this is the beginning of the softball park. So the where I was when I last filmed, I was all the way over there. And so yeah, it did not spit me out like I thought it would, so I'm gonna have to backtrack to show you guys the restrooms if I even want to do that. So I take it back, it does not spit you out at every part of the trail. So if you're on this side of the trail, not on the side of the softballs, but on the side of the parking lot, just be aware that it does not in fact spit you out easily on that side. You're gonna have to walk pretty much all the way back to the beginning of the trail to be spat back out. So, my bad. So here's one of the last places I want to show you guys. This side of the baseball/softball fields, and the fact that there is in fact a public restroom here at this park. Very important for me when I'm going to walks on parks is, does it or does it not have a restroom? Not a porta potty, okay? Not a porta potty at the beginning. Not the thing that's filled with poop and piss all over the place inside, which when the time comes, and I absolutely have no choice, I will use it. But given the opportunity, I would much, much, much rather have an actual restroom. And this is an actual full like restroom. I'm trying to make sure this note doesn't say that there are no rabid cat exposure near Western Branch Park. So be careful about cats, guys. Please do not pet any cats. Do not go near any cats here at Western Branch Park. Rabid cat exposure right here at Western Branch Park. Don't go near those cats. But anyway, there is in fact full restrooms. They are not open 24/7. I think they're probably open from like 9 to 6 or 7 or something like that. Not 24/7, but at least they're full restrooms. You get privacy. It's not a porta potty, and so that is very convenient. And one of the things that I look forward to, not forward to, but I look for when I go to a park to walk. So I just wanted you guys to know if you have to use the restroom, there are in fact full restrooms here, not just porta potties. They have a couple of these little picnic tables, but again, they're not shelters, not too many shelters. They're little stands over here. And there is this snack shack that I don't think is ever used anymore. I don't think they ever have the people to operate it. Perhaps during sports football season with the children, they open up the snack shack, but I have myself never seen it open within the last 5 years. I've not seen it open. So maybe it's still open during sports football season, maybe not, but the building is still here, so there's hope for the future. Anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying this part of the tour. We are almost done. I think I'm gonna wrap it up at the playground at the front. Hopefully there are no kids over there, and I'll see you guys over there. Hey y'all, so I was gonna end on the big kids playground. However, there are actual kids there, and so we will not be filming that today, but just know that there is in fact a playground here at Western Branch Park. But in the meantime, the dog park seems to be empty for once, so I will show you guys that. So I'm not gonna go in there because I actually do not have an affinity for dogs, to be honest, and there's probably poop in there. But I know a lot of people do let their dogs run rampant over here, let them do whatever they want to do as they can. Over here, looks like they got a little water area over there for the dogs as well. So I do know it is pretty popular around here for people with dogs. In general, though, they do like to just take them for walks on the trail itself. So just be aware that this is a very dog-friendly area. So you will probably see people with dogs of all different shapes and sizes. As I said, they are supposed to be on a leash, but that's not always the case. Here are the rules. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure the dogs are supposed to be on a leash at all times. So I guess this is the big dog side, dog park. And then this over here is the little dog side, much smaller park for littler dogs. I don't think they have a little watering area though, so you probably had to sneak your water from the little dog side, or the big dog side for the little dogs. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the tour. As I said, very dog friendly, so I will say that, oh, dog park membership tag required. I don't know what that means. I was not aware that they needed a membership to use a dog park. I thought it was just there to be a dog park. Wow, guys, you learn something every day. Anyway, like I said, that is going to be the very last stop on the tour besides the Welcome to Western Branch Park sign, so that you guys know that I haven't been lying to you this whole time. Test everything, every spirit, every person, test, 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 test. But no, I haven't been lying to you. I have in fact been at Western Branch Park, so I'm going to show you guys the entrance to prove that I am exactly where I said I was this entire time. See? Da-da-da-da. The city of Chesapeake, Western Branch Park. So I was here the whole time. I was not lying. So I hope you guys enjoy this little tour. As you can see, there is the only other like bigger shelter at this park. However, it is surrounded by a bunch of trees. And I don't know if there are, oh no, there is a grill. But that's the only other shelter that I know of that has an actual like substantial amount of benches, aka 4. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Again, I'm here at Western Branch Park in Chesapeake, Virginia, the peak of excellence. I hope you guys enjoyed this, not walkie-talkie with Denny and Virginia, not the vloggy, but this VA all the way tour. I know, guys, I'm rusty. I'm gonna have to shake this off, and I hopefully the editing isn't too boring, but we gotta start somewhere. So hopefully you guys enjoy this tour, and I'll see you guys on the next tour, where hopefully it'll be a lot shorter and I'll be a lot more in shape. But we'll see, because it's probably just gonna be in a couple of days. But I'm gonna smash this stuff together. Hopefully I have enough space on my phone, which I don't. But I'm gonna put it all together, and I hope you guys enjoy this tour. Let me know where should I go next in either Chesapeake, Suffolk, or Portsmouth. I will write down your suggestions, but it doesn't mean I'll go there right now. I'll go there when I have the means and the time. I am only one person. But until then, you guys can also have your own VA all the way tours and report back to me on how it went. So let me know, where should I go next in Portsmouth, Suffolk, Portsmouth, or Chesapeake. And I hope you guys enjoy this tour. And until next time, we're going all the way out. Thank you for joining me on this VA all the way tour. If you'd like to support the Virginia Adventures, please go over to buymeacoffee.com/Denny in Virginia. Or you can check out the description for other ways to support the Virginia Adventures.